So next we have Khaled Barakeh. Welcome to the Freedom Talks, Khaled.
Thank you.
Khaled is a painter, a conceptual artist, and is running a studio. Tell us more about the studio and what creative stuff is happening there.
So I trained as a painter long time ago in Syria, and then when I moved to Europe, my practice moved with me. So I shifted toward conceptual art, with focus on social political art. Actually, it was all the time social political, even when I was in Syria. Not social, but it was political, because also in Syria it's a dictatorship, so you have to kind of cover the social political in an artistic way that is not very obvious. Funny enough, which what's happening today in Europe and many places as well. And then I kind of discover conceptual art, and I find it more liberal field to express oneself. And in 2015, I moved to Berlin from Frankfurt, and when the Syrians arrived, too many Syrians arrived, so it was kind of way reconnecting with the community. 2 years after, I established my studio, the studio Khaled Barakeh, and I start I find term that describe my production, which is called practice of necessity, my artistic practice, because I just figure out that I'm responding to necessity all the time, because coming from some part of the world, you most of the time in a fight and flight mode. So, and sometimes the necessity, it's either personal or collective, would kind of drive the production, so you don't have the privilege even to breathe, to choose a topic that you want to address. And out of the studio also there's another project which was bigger than normal project, because it's long-term project. It's a cultural organization called Co-Culture, believing back then that two culture coming together and being able to build third identity and joint culture and all the things that we believed in before October 7th, unfortunately, and many things has changed. And so the organization is it's the umbrella of many projects. We have a project called Syria Cultural Index, called now the index.art, which try to map the artists from Syria, but also from conflict zone in different countries in the region. Another project is the Syrian Biennale. It's a mobile Biennale that follow the refugee routes. In each edition take place in a different country as a way of reconnecting the community, but also engaging with the local communities. Anyway, we have several projects. Feel free to visit the website. It's called coculture.org. And from that, I continue my practice. Every time I feel there's a new urgency or a new topic to address, I kind of reflect on that with a new project. Mainly I use creative processes as main tool, so I'm not connected to one medium anymore. The organization, for example, I call it social sculpture, as Joseph Beuys described one of his practices. So you kind of changing the form and the format within the necessity of the context and the content.
Yeah. Okay. You're talking about oppression and the trauma and the baggage I hear from what you are telling about your own journey. What do you think, how does it affect your creativity and the different artists you're working with? What type of baggage do they carry, and how does it affect creativity? How does one self-censor oneself? Where do you think freedom of expression today?
Yeah, so many questions at once, sorry, but no, it's fine. It's great. Let me address them, like not chronologically, but
no, I don't even need an answer that. It was all the thoughts coming in my mind, and
they're all connected. Absolutely.
They're all connected. Yes.
So basically, I think for many of us from the global south, you don't have the space for artistic freedom the way that we thought we have, right? So we came to liberal countries. We came to the north. We thought this is
everything is open now.
Exactly, and now we can say everything we want to say. And then you discover you have a limitation, right? Once you really step out above the limitation, they oppress you. And this is, I think, not only my story, this is a story that is repeated many, many times.
Like Sara Ahmed says, white walls around us doesn't let you go above you. The glass
so they
wall.
allow you to criticize the institution from within the institution, but you can't step out of the institution and point to the structure, because the structure in general is racist. We exist in racist structure. After the Second World War, everything organized is about white supremacy, like all over the world, and about kind of Eurocentric perspective toward the whole world. So we start functioning within that, and we've been gaslighted that this is a freedom, this is what you can talk about, so we all try to express ourselves.
Freedom also means like the Eurocentric vision of freedom, and
of course,
how you can move within this concept.
Of course. So if you want to talk about women rights, feminism, LGBT, environmental rights, whatever, like anything that, suits the narrative, great, you are our allies.
Yeah, and even if you talk about all these stuff, they have to be from their perspective. Women rights, how the European women rights activists want women rights to be.
Absolutely.
It is not actually maybe concerned for an Afghani women. The rights they want to fight for may be very different from the rights of European.
100%. I think, and that's another topic, but I think Western white feminism took feminism to a wrong direction. I think that doesn't contextualize the topic within, from local perspectives, not only one perspective. So within this limitation, you kind of try to be creative how to express yourself, right? And then before we thought like, we can use different ways. And then you start, at the moment, there was, again, you step out of the structure, you can start clashing with the organization, with the limitation, with the power structure that existed that doesn't allow you to go beyond. So, and then you start to think, okay, is this really what it is? Or I've been in a, similar to toxic relationship. You've been manipulated, you've been gaslighted, you've been abused, you've been accused. You have all these elements of toxic relationship. This is how I feel my relation now to Europe in general, or to the Western world, to the global North, but specifically to Germany. I feel like really I broke up with with a psychopath narcissist, because the tool they are using now to oppress people, to dominate people, to use even violence against people, right? It's just something I thought we will never witness. The whole concept, never again. It's about never again white people killing white people, but not never again the action itself, not never again the ethic, the moral compass. So because it's obviously repeating itself, it's a genocide that is happening around the corner, and they allow it to happen. Not only allow it, they also support it. So, and then also, which is weird, it feels so weird to had to kind of go back to this mentality of 2011 in Syria after the revolution broke out, to think of creative tools to overcome the censorship. Something I thought I will never do in Europe, or need to have, like to start thinking, expressing ourselves, or who we are, our identities, trying to overcome censorship, etc., etc. So
the confidence one had gained or somewhat like came out is now again being...
Which also, like kind of one of your questions, it also, like for me, it motivates me to produce work. Like every time they censor something in Germany, like my brain just literally, they activate my brain, like let's do something, because this is not okay. I mean, it's good. I wish I don't do it. I wish I have the privilege to work about space, love, anything that is abstract, not necessarily politics, not necessarily war, not necessarily human rights, but this is like the
necessity
necessity, reality, also the geopolitics from where we are from. So, and with that, I think the project here, it kind of responded to that. The project called Absence. After October 7th, Germany were very aggressive against anything that is not aligned with their narrative. Not only necessary, like you don't have to be pro-Palestine. It's enough to be against Israel, and not against Israel as a country. We're talking about policies. We're talking about governments. governments that their ex-prime minister, who are war criminals, accuse this prime minister of being fascist and criminal, which is also very weird, right? While Germany fighting the AfD in their country, and they're fighting the rise of right wing, they have no problem of supporting a fascist government. And the moment you start criticizing, they threw the three cards in your face. If you are Muslim, you are Hamas. If you are Jewish, you are self-hate Jew. If you are anything else, you are anti-Semitic. And they're mixing the cards as well. Like you can be the three at the same time. Yeah. They accuse South Africa of being Hamas, ICC of being Hamas. All of a sudden, Hamas is like the most powerful organization in the world, which is ridiculous. And that's also what's really, really hurts me, because they don't respect that we are smart enough. They don't respect that we are intellectual enough to observe the situation and to have our own opinion about it, and they're oppressing our opinion about it. So anyway, so with all that, there was like, until now, there's 185 incidents of cancellation or oppressing, and I'm talking about art and culture only field, right? That's documented in the democratic Germany. And so, as a response to that, I didn't submit to that. I will never do. I left Syria. I literally lost everything. I can't go back. I can't visit my parents who's getting old. I can't. So many things. And I was willing to sacrifice this, and not being silenced, not to come to Germany, democratic place, and being silenced again, like literally on my dead body. This is like, I can't, just my body, I can't accept it. Like seeking freedom is just the essential of a human being, right? And also if you're an artist, this is what you are trying to. You just want to spread your wings and travel around the world, and imagine your imagination travel around the world, and you dare to dream and you dare to fantasize, so other people can live their fantasies in your fantasies, because you create the structure for it. So as a response to all of that, I came up with a project called Absence in cooperation with the organization called Shift in the City Library of Malmö. And we chose the library because it's the perfect space for freedom of expression. Historically, it's a library that allows everyone to exist and to express their thoughts. So I asked the participants who've been cancelled, I sent many emails to many people who've been cancelled, to respond to this cancellation on paper, on A4 paper, 30 pages. They can say anything they want. They can draw, they can pen, they can use photography, anything they want to express, however they want to express themselves. And during the time of the exhibition, we hid printers in the body of the building on the library. So first you arrive, there's no artwork at all, and all of a sudden papers start falling, and then exactly, some of it is here.
I wish something falls down. Or maybe you can edit.
I hope it only paper will fall down, not anything else. Yeah. And then later on, we kind of collected all this paper, and we produced a book called Absence that has 16 contributions, amazing contribution by really, really great artists from all different backgrounds. Because again, the accusation of being monochromic, if you come from a specific place, then you are for sure Hamas, you are for sure Muslim, you are for sure pro this and that. And I'm not none of this. I mean, I'm not Muslim myself by birth. I don't believe in national identity. I don't identify as Syrian. I love Syria, I love the people, but I think we are bigger than our,
the nation tag on you.
Yeah, but not only that. I mean, being Syrian, it's a colonial title of the region, right? Again, European, mainly French and British in this case, they divided the region, and all of a sudden you are Lebanese, I'm Syrian, this is Jordanian. One day we were all harmonic, kind of living in one place. So I rejected that as well, as a way of also believing in real decolonization, not the Western decolonization that they try to promote. So, but even that, it won't help you, because you will be all the time put on a box just because you are criticizing. And now the level, I think, they reach in Germany, we have to be very, very strong. We have to, and voicing out, unapologetically, right? We have to call things as it is, right? So, in my opinion, and that's my political belief, that was a conspiracy theory one day that I didn't have a proof for it. And now it took an event on the size of October 7th to see the real structure of the world. Simply, in my opinion, Zionism is controlling the world as an ideology, and controlling the world is not exaggeration. I mean, mainly specific part of the world, big part of the world, talking about Western part of the world, right? And we saw this because countries, like United States, like Germany, like France, like England, many countries here, they are completely taking the side of Israel without no sense of accountability, no sense of full impunity. Even when the ICC and ICG started, investigating, they being accused, first of all, of being Hamas, and now Germany, France, United States, they won't arrest Netanyahu. And when you start targeting international organization, not only this, like all human rights organization, literally all, right? And everyone, they've been accused of many things. Even in the ICC, I forget his name, Sadiq Khan, I think. No, I forget his name, Karim Khan, I think. He was accused, like they make some sexual abuse against him case. They try to, same thing with Assange, they did here in Sweden, right? At any time you break the system, you point it out to the real thing, then, things will be against you. So all of that, I think that's what I'm saying, we have to be really strong on voicing out without apologizing from anyone, without fearing, because what will come after, it will be very scary. And this is really, really, really what concerns me a lot. And this is what I'm talking with everyone about. This is what I'm telling also my European friends and colleagues about. Like the moment they manage to do this, trust me, you are the next. This is how dictatorship, started. I mean, we'll see it soon in the States, like with Trump. This is going to a very dark time. Yeah.
How hopeful are you for the future?
I'm definitely not
places,
hopeful. We have to fight. But to be honest, I'm really, really not hopeful at all. The only thing, I mean, we'll be doing what we're doing, because that's the only thing we can do, unfortunately. I think we need third intifada and a global intifada, really, against the structure.
That is the only way forward.
Yeah, because otherwise we are just repeating the same system, the corporate, the capitalism, the neoliberal system that in connection with Zionism as an ideology, where that's also what hurts so much. They abuse the Jewish community, Zionism, right, and the Israeli government, and they're using them. And this is, I think, where it's also, I think, what hurts me the most. Many things actually hurts nowadays, but one of the things that how much they are abusing the Jewish community while they are playing the victim card all the time. And what hurts is also abusing a community that has been abused, that has been, they have the tragedy, and using them again to fuel the white colonial project called Israel. Exactly. They have no issues of killing 600,000 people in the Nakba more and kicking them out of their lands. And they had no issues of repeating the same thing now again and again, right, in Gaza. And also, obviously, they have bigger plan of the whole region. Netanyahu holding a map from the river to the sea, from the Iraq River, right, to the sea. Syria doesn't exist. That's the Great Israel from day one. That's the white, again, European project, similar project to America, similar project to Australia, similar project to Canada, to New Zealand, to all the places that turned into something else, arriving to a new place, killing the people, claiming the land, claiming the culture, and then give them some rights back, the indigenous, right? Like in the state, for example, which is funny enough, like in the state, the only time that you will be called American if you are white European. If not, you are American, you are like American, African American, Arab American, Asian American, indigenous American. But if you are European, you are the American.
And because also, they were born there. The Europeans were born there.
So this is, I think, that's what I'm saying. Like when we want to talk about power structure, we have to go to the core. We shouldn't stop, we should stop rounding the corners, and should, again, being brave enough to call things as they are. We will be cancelled, we will cut, fund will be cut, because now in Germany by law, you are not allowed to be target for public fund if you criticize Israel. And they, of course, they love this idea of mixing things again, identities, right? With the national identity of being Israeli, with Judaism, with Zionism, right?
And playing this religion card over and over again.
I don't want to sound very like give a dark kind of vision to how he's seeing the future, but it's
That's your
really,
reality.
really not
Yeah.
right.
That's my
We have
reality
the
too.
rise of right wing, we have the rise of nationalism, we have a Trump for the second time. As the first slap, it wasn't enough. We have Elon Musk with Trump and his government, two dangerous men. I think combined now. Many things, and you have the development of AI, which we don't have enough space to unfold because all what's happening. But I think the only way is to go is to resist. We have to resist to exist.
Thank you so much. It was, I won't even say lovely talking to you because it was actually very sad to hear the reality.
It is.
But thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you for your
Appreciate it.
time and
Yeah.
all the patience.